Yeah, I'll do some during the finance budget section, and I guess with the committee report as well.
Okay, perfect. I guess we'll do agenda items for discussion.
Great, I'm going through it. Take your time.
Doing the board action right for the minutes. Okay, anybody have any questions on board action items 1 through 9? Oh, you know what?
Wait a minute.
1 through 4, I'm sorry.
1 through 4, under what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. B 2223 dot 1 to dot 4.
Yeah.
If Freddie could just, we're sending that resolution out to oppose the state health benefit increase. And just talking to Ray, I guess our increase this year is gonna be 146,000.
Yes, years ago was, for a while, was double-digit increases. The last several years, it's been single digits. We budgeted 7%, and they're projecting, or the report they got, the state, they haven't finalized it yet, is 15.6. So it's about up for us, and because they're on a calendar year, we're on a fiscal year, we get 6 months of the increase, so about $146,000, $47,000. We got to find from another account or accounts. So, we're starting off the school year looking for money. So it's been in our favor the last couple of years, which has been great, but now we're going the other way. So this resolution was put forward by New Jersey school boards, to oppose it or just to appeal that.
I don't know, but I'm
This is a burden on the districts, and to compound it further, when they did the Chapter 44, which is the health benefit law they did recently, if the staff goes into the educator's plan, they're paying based on salary, so they're not paying, so if a percentage goes up 15.6, they're not paying any of that increase, they're just paying their salary, the percentage of their salary, so the district bears more of that cost. So had they been in the other plan, that 147 could have been a little bit lower.
Good question.
I don't think
Thank you.
anything will happen, but I think we should still send it down there. We'll see what happens.
Okay, perfect. Any question, anything? Okay, Ms.
Hold
Torbic.
it, that's on,
No.
you went to what number, Mike?
We'll
Board action items.
1 through 4, the board action items.
Okay. Nope, never mind.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll abstain Wednesday, right? Because I don't think I was here for the 13th. Yeah. Sylph, you covered the 13th for me, I think, right? June 13th? Yeah, okay. All right. Ms. Torbic?
Are there any questions for E 2223.1 to E 2223.8? Any discussion?
Through the chair, under curriculum, we're approving all of this curriculum. I spent a good half of my day reading new curriculum that was posted online today. Are we going to approve that, or we don't have to?
That curriculum was approved last school year.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Daddy Shear.
Yes.
No. You're,
We're not voting, Rich.
we get it.
Tonight, sir.
Any questions on action item F 2223.1 to F 223.14?
So if I may, on a couple from our committee meeting and since then, regular closeout stuff with the checks and the June reports. Those projects, like I said in my notes, some of them were approved after our June 27th meeting, so I had no other time to put them on, but they're all within the budget figures. It's .9 and .10, the bid for the Franklin School window project. Again, higher than we anticipated, and the costs aren't going down, but this is a good company that's done projects with us before, and we feel we need to move forward with this. The HVAC renovations in the gym, again, if you look at .14, is $108,000 over what was budgeted for. We have money in the capital reserve to do this project. Again, the costs aren't going down. We had 6 bidders and a good range of cost estimates. So we can move forward with this. Just the attorney's reviewing the bids, actually the low bidder, and if all the documents are in there and submitted, we will move on that bid. I'll fill in the blanks and the vendors on, tomorrow or by Wednesday. So if we can move forward on that. Dot 11, I was still holding money from the Energy Savings Improvement Program with Johnson Controls. We finally worked out a final sum and punch list that they finished, and so that's why we're revising it. We got a deduction of $20,000. And dot 12 is a proposal we went over in a committee for Smith School to add like mosaic artwork to each side of the front door. It'll be attached or fixed to the building, so we wanted to bring that to the board for approval. And dot 13 is something that was needed even before this referendum to set the boundaries around the high school, but we're going to need this for the referendum. And that concludes, those items that we discussed in the committee. So any other questions on those items?
Through the chair, on F2223.8, number 1, that's $66,000 to replace just sections, not the entire thing? That's not that big of an area.
Yes, the whole project to do both sides of the stairs was $325,000. That's the removal, removal of concrete, pour it in. I mean, Mr. Soroka was telling me the type of truck they had to pour the concrete and get it to where they had to get it to. It just, everything. I said, the projects I just told you,
But it's
It's
the
that and the
entire thing.
railings.
It's not parts of it.
no,
Like
right
this
now,
says
it's
replace
just the landing.
sections,
Right now, it's just the landing outside the gym doors. That's
and they're
done.
reusing the same railing.
No, that part, the new railings get installed on September 1st.
Okay.
And then we'll work our way down, we'll work our way down the, both sides of the stairs over time.
Okay. It sure is.
Okay, so we're going to go over to Mr. Laurentino.
Okay, policy. Does anybody have any questions, comments?
Your mic.
I did. Mic is on. I'm not talking into it?
No.
In reference to policy, anybody any questions of policy 2223.1 through P8660? Just that the top half is for the first reading through R2464, and the rest are for a second reading. Good.
No questions.
Anybody? Wow. Good, Sylv?
I'm good.
Oh, hi. Sylv, you're up.
Okay. Any discussions on N2223.1 to N2223.2? I'm sure there's not.
Again, we're trying to have that contract on dot 2 finalized by Wednesday. Both groups were back and forth looking at it, making some, a few revisions, and hopefully we get it all squared away by Wednesday.
Okay, and as far as personnel, that we'll do in that close, right? Oh. Okay, personnel, yeah,
All right, wait, there's a lot.
2223.1. Oh, boy.
Yeah, there's a lot. You gotta give us a few minutes.
To P2223.9.
Hold on there.
Wow. Great.
Well, while you're thinking of your questions, I just still have to fill in, starting with dot 3. All these appointments, I have to fill in all budget accounts, so I'll be working on that and get it done by Wednesday. And also dot 4. And amounts in dot 5. So I still have work to do, but not gonna change the appointment, the names.
She was in negotiations. What's the amendment?
Go back if you want. Where? Under the addendum, negotiations. Which one?
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Go back.
Hi.
I see that there's a new custodian. Have we filled in all the positions now? Are we fully staffed as far as the?
We are current, as far as custodians?
Yes.
Right, as far as custodians.
Yeah, I think we're caught up with this one.
I believe so.
Just not maintenance, right? Or that too?
What do you need?
Hold the button. What do you need?
It's not currently like open. We're working on trying to get another person, but it's not open. We moved that to a bus driver custodian. But
Yeah.
say?
Can you? Mine's died.
What do you, I have a.
Oh,
couple
no,
of
wait, I
screens.
got it.
I have a couple of screens open.
She's got it.
Okay, but, so we were just talking about custodians, correct? Yes. I just asked if all positions were filled. On that note, do we have other positions that we're looking to fill still?
We currently have, we started off the day with needing four paras for the start of the year, and then since then, 2 have actually resigned. 2 of the new ones that we hired accepted other positions. So we are in need of 6 paras, I believe, district-wide. We are still in the need of a part-time art graphic design teacher for the middle school, high school, and a special education history teacher for the high school, and another special education teacher. Hold on. A part-time special education teacher at Long School and a full-time special education teacher at the high school.
I have a question on that. Did the paras say why they?
I believe one said that they accepted an offer someplace else, and the other one, I just heard through the grapevine. I didn't actually get the official notification yet.
Through the chair, I have a question. Where it says negotiations, N2223.1, revised sidebar, could you explain that a little bit further?
Sure. That is Mrs. Jillian Qualley, who is our supervisor of special services. She was hired as our supervisor of special services, and that was her position. We changed her position to supervisor of special services and supervisor of early childhood, and moved her location to Washington School. Since then, in all of our principal meetings, Mrs. Colley plays an integral role in the runnings of Washington School, and we're expanding our preschool program. We have more students than we've ever had. We're actually opening up another class as well, and there's a waiting list. So Mrs. Colley is taking on the principal duties of Washington School, and she does have her provisional principal certificate. So by changing her title to principal of Washington School, she's able to start the Leader to Leader program to move that provisional cert to a standard cert.
Okay, so as discussed prior, these positions that we're creating for people need to be, I feel, posted. I understand, okay, that we already have the position, so we don't need to post for a position, but when you're changing someone's title and creating a new position, I feel, regardless whether it's in the contract or not, to be transparent, it should be posted either on the website, okay, or within the school system. And I have been saying that, and it just goes off deaf ears, and I understand that we have to be consistent, because we did it for this one, and we did it for this one, and we did it for this one, but when are we gonna start doing it right? Where you're transparent, okay, and you give other people the opportunity to apply at least. Just because someone is doing a great job in the position that they're in, right? great, they may be entitled to the position, but not unless it is outwardly transparent for all people to see to apply. And this has been going on and on and on. So we're creating new positions that we haven't had before for people that we feel that should be in that position just because they're doing a wonderful job in the position they're at. So I really feel that any new position, okay, and I don't mean it as this way, okay, well, we have a principal, so that's not a new position. Well, it is when you're creating another principal for a different purpose. To me, that's a new position. So to be transparent and fair and equal, going forward, I would like to have these particular positions posted. Not only that, I would also like prior notification before putting it on the agenda, what you're planning on before the person knows that that is the thought or the idea that you have and already has been discussed with that person. And yeah, if you have any questions, but obviously the conversation had to take place already. And then you see it here and it's just like a done deal. Done. That's what we want. Well, that's great that that's what you want, but I don't think it's great and fair for the people in this district that have the opportunity to apply for another position. And you put me in a very difficult situation, I have to say. Because a few of these positions, one I know very well, and one is a parent in my district. So either way, I'm abstaining and I'm in conflict. But I would have liked to have had that conversation prior to just seeing it here. And that's all I really have to say in regard to that. That I think going forward, these positions should be posted.
And maybe that's something we can discuss as an entire board. So I did reach out to the attorney. There is no requirement to post for those positions. There's nothing in our contract, and it is a change in title. So we have not been posting for change in title because those people do need a position. We're not creating a new position. We're changing the title of their current position.
Did the position exist before you put the person in, or you want to put that person in this position? Did the position exist?
It would depend on specific positions. Some,
I'm
like
sorry?
Principal of Washington School did exist. It would depend on what specific positions you're speaking of.
This is all I'm gonna say. Going forward, I like to be transparent, fair, and give everyone an equal opportunity to apply for a position that never existed. And that's all I'm saying. Not saying the people that you put or you feel are not qualified, and you know what? They probably do go over and beyond their duties. Okay, but again, I would like some kind of input prior to just having things appear, and for transparency, not only for the people in the town and the district, but also for us. I just don't want to see things put on here. And I already said, it's not in their contract. I understand it's not in their contract. But that doesn't mean going forward that we shouldn't be posting positions that have not been already established.
I want to be sure I understand something. Because I just want to make sure I understand. Because I believe that there's two different kinds of things happening. So was there always the position of principal at Washington? Did that position exist?
Yes, Dr. Reisenhower was the principal at Washington School.
Okay. That was one of my questions.
Right.
I wasn't.
Okay,
I
but
wasn't
then we
sure.
made her something else.
Right.
Well, it
Dr.
wasn't,
Reisenhower.
Dr. Reisenhower, okay.
because it wasn't, but it wasn't posted. So we made her something else, and now we have this other open position. So we gotta find somebody to put in, and we know who that person is going to already be.
Now, on that note, I have a question though.
Wait, shoot, are you done, Becky?
No, so wait, I'm
No,
sorry.
that's okay. Let her ask her question, because it may I'm help sorry, I my didn't brain. realize you had another one. Go No, ahead. no, go no, no, ahead. because I don't know if I do. Go ahead. Ask yours, and then I can So always go back. what's, My head is going. I understand what you're saying, because I never thought of it this way. Exactly. Changing and creating a new title. So when you're changing someone's title, when would you do that then? Like,
If you have a need for a position, you should post it and give people opportunity, because if it didn't exist before, okay, or that person wasn't in that particular position, it should be posted.
okay.
So
there-
I can explain a little. So the Director of Student Personnel Services, Jane Ellen's position, that's a brand-new position. So we posted for that position, it was on AppleTrack, it was sent out to everybody. Other, I'm sorry for saying names, other positions, it was not, it was a change in title.
Right, so what's the difference, like that's, I guess, I'm getting a little confused, so what's the difference? When would you use a change in title?
Right. I think it's confusing.
When it's a different position. The person that's holding their present position, they get changed to a different title, okay?
But still keep the position.
The same position?
So they stay where they are, but the title changes.
Right.
The name of what they are changes.
I think
But
that's,
I think their job description also changes, because that's the point from transferring someone from one part to the other. So basically, all I'm saying is, there's a difference. If it's a position that was never filled, okay?
Right.
By anybody, didn't exist, I feel like it should be posted.
And I agree with you, but now you're saying that there was a principal there once before? So that's not a new position then?
It is for this new opportunity, because that person moved on. So now this is open, and therefore,
Right, it should have been
it's
posted
just
so every
handed
people-
to people and not, does that make sense
It does.
now?
Yeah, it's hard to, yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
sure,
so, but it's very hard
I'm
to-
sure everyone here and everyone that is entitled to, move over deserves it. And I'm not saying anything negative about anyone. I'm just asking if we can please post these new positions. To me, it's a new, even though, like, principal was already a principal, okay, but now we need another principal. So, just because we have the position principal, doesn't mean that we shouldn't post for a different person walking into that, and walking into those shoes.
That makes more sense to me than name changing, like, or title changing. That's where I think I
Yeah,
get a little
that one's
confused
hard.
with that
That one's
part,
a
but
hard-
I understand.
To understand.
The only part I'm not following, I didn't follow the title changes and everything, is the people have they're tenured in the position, so by going through the motion of posting and getting resumes in and interviewing people for a position they can't get, because now we're gonna do that other administrator.
Because
You can't get rid of them, so now you just hire another person.
But you already
You know what I'm saying?
determined it.
There was no position open, like the person left and there's a position open. It's just a title change, that's all it is. There was a director, there was a principal at Washington School. All it is you just move director over by us in the central office, a supervisor has her office over there now at Washington School, and you assume the position of principal. There's not another, because if you said you wanted a principal, you're hiring another administrator, and we can't do that.
So you're combining
So really, it's just a title
Yes.
change. I mean, really, there was
That
no
makes more sense
open,
to me.
so you're gonna have people apply for a position that, I mean, technically, they really can't get. I mean, what are you gonna do with that tenured administrator? Where are you gonna move them to now if you hired that other person? Say that person was better. Like, where are you gonna, you give them the principal of middle school principal.
But where
But
was
is
that
that-
with the
before?
vice principal?
is that
But where were they
person
before?
tenured for the new position?
Yeah.
Yes.
They're tenured in
How?
the role that they're in. For one position, you have to send that person to get their mentorship, which will also cost money. And that wasn't even discussed either about salary. So I understand you have to post everything, then you have to do interviews and all that other thing. You do what you want, but at least post it.
Wait, the mentorship, I thought the staff
I
person
think you
paid for
guys
that.
are
District
fixated on
pays for
just
that?
doing it. I
Mhm.
think this is overall. which is where all the confusion's.
Yeah, it's in the contract.
Now I got something else in my head.
So
It's in the contract.
unfortunately, you know, you
It's
may
in the
not be
contract.
happy with my request, and you don't have to follow, but I'm going to abstain from every and any position that was never, where a new person takes a different position. That's all.
If I can go back to the para comment, I was informed that one of the paras is decided to stay in her home country with her family. She was visiting and decided to stay.
I was just wondering if there's something that we can do if we are not, if the
Right.
paras are choosing somewhere else for a particular reason.
No, absolutely.
Maybe we can work on that, you know, that's.
Money.
That's really that's good.
Okay, anybody else?
Through the chair, I just want to comment on Regina's comment. I think the confusion, I think what Ray was explaining is based solely on the position at Washington. But I think the comments that were coming were in past and current, not just now.
Correct. As you said, you want it to be consistent. Well, let's turn it around, at least to give other people an opportunity
That's
to
hard
apply.
discuss when you can't mention.
Because this is the pattern, and just because it's not in their contract doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. You should be transparent.
You still up, Sats?
I don't know whether this is gonna fall under personnel or if it's gonna maybe under new business. But in our notes, there was a recommendation as far as our attorney goes.
Yes.
I don't see that on the agenda anywhere.
What do you mean a recommendation?
Is that discussed right now?
I can't hear
I'm
you,
sorry?
I'm not sure what the question is for the attorney. I mean, not to have the attorney here on Monday?
At either meeting it was.
Yeah, I mean, there's no action for that.
But
You know,
shouldn't that be our decision since it's our attorney?
but, right, but the stuff is put into the notes, that somebody would call Tony and said, I don't like that, or I want to discuss it tonight. So you want to bring it up tonight, you discuss it in public. That's not a closed session item. Either have the attorney here, or you don't
What
have
if
the attorney
somebody
here.
from the public asks a question that we need the attorney here for?
You get back to them. We don't have to answer everything right then and there. Go, you can go to,
That's the
you could,
problem.
no, you could go to a lot of districts, they do not have the attorney there.
I don't live in a lot of districts.
I know you
in
live- I know.
Saddlebrook, and I support Saddlebrook.
But you pay, right on, but you put Tony in charge, to Mrs. Violetti, in charge to
To what?
answer, make the
Decide if we need
decisions.
a lawyer or
We
not?
go to the attorney, right, it says in the policy. There's administrative decision-making. You don't want to go to the attorney all the time and spend money on decisions that we can answer.
By Wednesday, can I get a figure as to what we spent on attorney's fees for last year? Or if you know it
Yeah.
now, I'd be happy.
Well, give me a little bit, I could look it up.
That's okay.
I mean, on
Wait.
everything, for the year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, one, can I ask what brought that on to not want to have the attorney here? Like, is there something?
So speaking with other superintendents in other districts, as Mr. Cardy shared, the attorney is typically not present unless it is needed. So he's wonderful. Our specific attorney is so great with getting back to me any questions I have. And we do pay a large fee for him to be present and to respond to the questions. So if it's, the recommendation is that the superintendent answers the questions and then if needed, go back to the attorney.
Okay, so now when we hired him, it was our contract with him. Is it going to be reduced now based on the fact that he's not coming?
What
No.
do you,
No, we paid him by the hour here.
We paid by the hour, so
Right.
it wasn't a certain amount that, okay.
Years ago, we had some retainage, but that got rid of.
Okay, so.
So
we-
you're paying him to
paying
be
less.
here.
Okay,
And a lot of times, he didn't answer anything, like, we're just paying him to be here.
right.
he gives us a bill and it's an itemized bill and we go through each phone call, each email is documented and we initial it. And he charges a fee for that.
Can I ask you
how do you, check off that each email he says that he sent or that is correct?
We have record.
You have records of all,
Yeah, he gives us a detailed invoice and we go down, I go down it, Tony reviews it.
line by line?
Yes.
40,
Can we reach out to him on our own if we need be? For whatever,
that's-
for whatever. I'm not,
through the board president, you have to keep it limited. 9 people can't be calling the attorney for everything. They should go through the board president. 48,300 was for 21, 22,
21 to 22?
last school year.
I'm sorry, what was that number again?
48,300.
$48,300.
Okay, anybody else?
Right now, I'm good.
You're good.
We'll see Wednesday.
And that's not, I mean, that's just not coming to meetings. That's any issues we've had, that's negotiations in there, which we just came off the contract, so. I know it sounds like a large number, but it's not too bad.
Through the chair, that's
Sure.
just another example, like, please, let us know. I mean, not just tell us and then it's a done deal. We would like some kind of input in what, you know, the board, or I'll speak for myself, feels that is in the best interest. I'm just asking for communication, transparency, and input.
Perfect, all right. Okay. Want to save the committee reports for Wednesday?
I do.
And, huh? And we'll save the liaison reports too for Wednesday? Yeah, I don't have anything yet.
I don't think there is any. I don't think anybody met over the summer.
I have no idea what to ask.
Any correspondence,
anything
old
until it's
business, new business?
Through the chair,
Sure.
can I go backwards a little bit? I just realized something. I guess this is a question for Ray. Under the stipends for the year, there's a lot of empty spaces. I assume all those amounts are gonna be filled, in the stipends, there's no amounts.
They're not stipends, they're salaries.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I said those 3, I gotta fill in budget accounts and some more stipend amounts.
Okay, right, I'm sorry, Greg. Go ahead, sorry, I thought I was in the wrong place. Yeah, there's not amounts in here yet. I assume that's still, there's some, or am I looking at the wrong one?
No, I think we're going, I'm just,
No, it says stipends, is it great?
Yeah, but see, but like, a lot of them have no stipends in them. No amounts. I guess
for .4, right?
Point
correct?
four, yeah.
Yeah, I said I was gonna fill in a lot of those budget accounts, and also there was dollar amounts to fill in on that one, and the next one, .5.
Okay, thank you. I just wanna make sure I wasn't missing something.
No, you're not.
Thank you.
All right, like, going too soon under new business. You
New
went too
business?
quick, Mike. I think. We have one meeting before school starts, which is Wednesday. I don't know if this is gonna come up Wednesday or not, but I'm going to ask it now. And honestly, I don't remember if it was through your notes or if it was on Facebook, where we find out everything. Okay? Apparently, there's going to be some sort of drop-off line at Franklin School for dropping off, or a car line, or, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, do we have how that's gonna work?
Did you reach out to Mrs. Cohen? Mrs. Cohen,
No, why would I
It's-
reach out to Mrs. Cohen?
We don't reach out to principals.
I'm
We
sorry,
don't
I'm
reach
thinking
out
as a
to
grandparent.
principals.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
My
I'm
fault.
talking as a board member.
Mrs. Cohen is sharing with the Franklin community. They are going to go down Caldwell, past Franklin School. The curb was painted yellow, and when they get to the end, they can either make a right or a left to go around the block. So the drop-off line is right in front of the building.
And it's still gonna be a two-way street.
Yes, the town did not change that.
So what's changing?
The curb is yellow, and cars will now be able to pull over. Child will get out and then
You can't
continue
park on
going.
the side, you can't park.
Right, you
in front of
cannot
the school.
park.
I'm sure the
where the
people who
curb
live
is
there
yellow.
are very happy about that, but.
I'll let you know when it goes into effect.
I know people who live right across the street from the school, I was just thinking.
So do I. I live there.
I have a question, are they gonna have anyone receiving students? Like-
Yes.
Okay.
And every school does have a drop-off line at this point.
Yeah.
And they have staff outside
Oh,
receiving
yeah.
the students.
Through the chair, are we still in new business?
Yes.
Okay. Another hot topic is the health curriculum that's been changed drastically, as well as the LGBTQ plus that's infused in the curriculum. Do we have any intentions of sharing that with the community and what it's going to look like, and how are we going to do that?
Real quick, today I got an email from the curriculum supervisor. I guess parents are getting them, and it was stating that you can opt out if you choose not to want your child.
Correct, but how is the information infused in the curriculum? Because it's a K, pre-K through, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions, and I think the parents that have younger children are more concerned because of the topics that are there. Some districts are giving a presentation, some are just putting it on the website. But I think if there's a lot of questions, just contact the curriculum coordinator. I don't know, this is a sensitive topic, so I don't know if we're doing something, or we're having like maybe a parent academy or some kind of presentation.
We could. I spoke to Mrs. DeBonis about that. So not one question came to me, to be honest. The first I heard about it was from another person that informed me it was on Facebook. I did reach out to Mrs. DeBonis and asked her if she received some emails. She did say she received a handful of emails. She did create a website. Was that not shared with the board? Was it only parents?
No, I don't know if there was no, it wasn't shared with
No,
us.
it wasn't
Somebody
shared
sent
with
me
the
the
board.
link, that's
Nope.
how I read it.
I'm going to share it right now.
Thank you.
A parent did share it with me, that's how I read it.
So there is a website that was created. It has the statute on it, along with how to opt out, along with links to each grade level curriculum and standards.
So I'm sorry, let me put my mic on. So this website has the actual curriculum, so you can read through it?
This website has the standards that's used to write
Standards.
the curriculum. I'm checking.
This should be known.
There's a slideshow with all the health topics and the New Jersey Student Learning Standards.
Yeah, it was,
So I guess my question then
I
is,
did get on the parent.
if a
so-
parent chooses to opt their child out of the curriculum, what is being done with those students during that time?
You cannot opt out of the entire, like you can't opt out of health.
Right.
You can opt out of the family life portion of
They're
health.
just removed during that
In a different
portion.
class.
Correct.
I have it if you guys want me to share it with you, because I got it as a parent.
I just emailed it,
Oh,
so
okay.
thank you though.
I knew I saw it somewhere.
So the answer is reach out to the curriculum person. Okay. Guess that's how we're doing it.
Is there any way we can, as a board, get copies of what gets sent out through the district? Because some of them are parents and they get it,
Right.
and some of us don't. I totally forgot. I got it because it was sent to me by a parent. I thought the board got it until Regina said that.
Right. We are in the process of transitioning to our Blackboard mass notifications. So right now, everything is still on School Messenger, and there's that transition period. So as soon as we're on mass notifications, the board will be on every notification.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think I'm done for tonight.
Me too.
Open a meeting to the public. Anyone wish to speak? Please say no. Oh, God.
Read it, Mike.
I know. Thanks, Ray.
Wait, got me?
Residents are requested to state their names, address, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of this meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5-minute durations. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded to them by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments, and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Okay.
I'm gonna forget my questions. Melissa Brickley, 216 Wilson. So it's actually about this health stuff. So I have a couple questions. So one was, if we opt our child out, then so what will they be doing, like during that time? I think the information we got said they're just gonna like go in another room and there's no penalties or anything like that, but is it like a study hall then? Like, do they do something else? Like, that information hasn't been provided. And then, so I reviewed what was sent to us, and it was helpful, because it definitely like sort of outlines what is gonna be presented. But I feel like what's still missing is a little detail, because I think some topics can seem like, all right, I'll have my child sit in that, but then I'm kind of like, well, I don't know, because it depends what's going to be said about that. Like, are all sides going to be said? Like, you know, and then like how the statute talks about, you know, like religion and beliefs and stuff. So like, are those components going to come in? Like, well, if you're of this religion, then you might believe this, but if not, you might believe this. So I just feel like those details are still missing, so I still can't make a decision for my children. So, and that's like the conversation with like amongst some other people. Like, I think those are some of the outstanding questions and concerns.
Thank you.
Okay, so, so yeah, if we could just, I guess, find out like what they're gonna be doing. You're not gonna answer it now, no?
I was going to wait to see if there's any other questions, but,
Okay.
So as far as, you know, what they will be doing, I think it depends on the grade level of the child. So what a kindergarten student might be doing be very different than what a high school student might be doing.
I hope.
So I think that's a question that you can email the teacher to find out what the plan is, because I think it is dependent upon that.
No, I mean like when they get pulled, like if we opted them out and then now they're in this other room during that time.
So if it's like a kindergarten or first grade student, they'd be participating with the other class, because I'm sure it's the same grade level. If it's, you know, a middle school student, they might have a task to complete in another class. So I think it just depends on the grade level of the child.
But like on just a totally another topic, another subject, like what do you mean?
I'll have to confirm with Mrs. DeMonis.
Okay.
And I'll get back to you.
Okay.
And then as far as the exact verbiage, my suggestion would be to email the teacher or email the director of curriculum to find out. But I would probably reach out to the teacher if you have any hesitations, just to make sure that you have exactly what they're going to say.
Okay. I mean, isn't it better to can this just be put out for parents to see? I feel like, you know, now, however many handfuls of people already emailed her, then they're gonna get that many, now the teachers are gonna get all those parents asking. Like if it could just be put out, then everyone has it if they wanna read it.
We don't have a scripted curriculum. It has the standards and the goals and the activities, but it's not scripted as to what the teacher is going to say verbatim.
That's scary, but, okay, thank you.
They have been trained. We
Thank
actually
you.
had Judy LoBianco, who is like the guru in this comprehensive PE and health, and she came and ran a full day PD session with all of our health teachers across the district.
Okay, anyone else? Uh-oh.
Jerry Taylor, 318 Sheppes. I see, according to the list, that you're going to be hiring a custodian / bus driver. And as in the past, I've asked about that bus route that was eliminated with the previous superintendent for the kids that are over by MacArthur, having to walk now to school and all. have you reached out to the mayor, or has the board thought about reinstating that route back in? Because as my understanding back then, that the mayor was working something out with the board, with the superintendent, but the superintendent never got back to him and basically just pushed it off. Because it was a funding issue from the board side, but the mayor was putting crossing guards and stuff like that, into effect to keep, he basically, to keep the bus in. He was gonna work it out that way, but, I know for a fact that she never got back to him, about it. It was like a one-sided deal. So any thoughts, it would be greatly appreciated.
I did connect with the mayor, trying to find my email. I believe what he shared was they have the crossing guards and there was no intent of establishing the bus route with the township, as when I connected with
Okay.
him.
So my grandkids will be walking in the winter. Okay, thank you.
And the position on the agenda is just really, he's down as a sub-custodian. He does the evenings at Washington School when the rec department uses it and the town pays for that. He also has a bus license, so if we're down drivers and it's, he's not working for his own district, after hours, he could drive the bus, so it's not our permanent driver.
Okay. Ms. Montalbano?
Hi, everybody. Joni Montalbano, 797 Saddle River Road. I just wanted to say thank you for bringing the SAT course this summer. My daughter did attend with a couple of other people, and I did drive her to Pennsylvania this weekend to take her SAT course,
Oh, wow.
to get it in before October 1st, so she can apply to college. So I just wanted to say thank you for listening and bringing it in, and I hope it worked. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck.
Anybody else? No. Okay, I'd like to close the meeting to the public.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, now where are we here? We could adjourn the meeting now, right?
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay, motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we will see you guys on Wednesday, the 31st.